Scientific, medical, and philosophical reasons to reject the use of contraception. Does the Church forbid every kind of family planning?
Natural family planning, which is not Catholic contraception, is something that our Holy Father, Pope Paul VI, wrote about in Humanae Vitae. It's a breakthrough in genuine medical science, respecting how a woman's body works and understanding how the whole cycle for an individual woman, and it will vary woman to woman, can be interpreted in such a way that you can pinpoint the times in which the couple will have mutual fertility. Using natural family planning is not trusting God. It should be an expression of faith, and that's why couples who practice NFP have a divorce rate. It's under 1%. I mean, because it fits with the overall picture and structure of marriage, and it's respectful of each other and the dignity of marriage. At the same time, couples who simply don't discern a serious reason and entrust that to God and don't go from trying very hard not to get pregnant to trying very hard to get pregnant are experiencing a beautiful Catholic marriage too. And we should never sort of drill Catholics as, why aren't you using NFP? And I have definitely had friends whose parents, really put them on the spot about it. It is perfectly acceptable, as far as the Catholic Church is concerned, to simply be open to life or to use natural family planning. When you look carefully at the studies, and you could especially look at the Pope Paul VI Institute out in Omaha, Nebraska, and you could look at the Couple to Couple League, their studies indicate 98 to 99% effectiveness in not conceiving. That's as good as the pill, with none of the side effects, with it still as an expression of respect for each other and respect for the power of the act. One of the most interesting things, when Scott and I switched from contraception, we switched briefly to NFP, natural family planning. Two things happened. One, we became very aware of the power of that act. When you contracept, you just put it in or do it or eat it or whatever every single day. You don't think about where you are in your cycle. When you use natural family planning, you're very aware. The other aspect of that awareness was, I did not know how much more I desired my husband when I was ovulating. That's when my whole being was saying, where are you? I want to be one with you. And that is God-given. That is the way God made my body. And so every month, it contributed to how temporary it was, because it was like, well, I don't know if at this moment in time I think I do want to use NFP, And then Scott would say, well, that's because you're ovulating, and if we don't use NFP, we will conceive. And so it was like, okay, was it a prayerful decision? Were we right? Are we trying to honor Christ? Yes. Okay, well, we'll still use NFP, but I can't wait till we don't have to. The other beautiful thing about natural family planning, and this is important to the 2 million plus couples right now trying to conceive and struggling with fertility in the United States, is natural family planning gives you information about your body so that when you want to conceive, you already know how to read the signs and you read them in reverse. And then those are the prime times to be able to conceive. Again, this is where the Catholic Church is caring for that woman and that man in marriage, respecting the power of sexuality that they have been given, giving them more information about how their bodies function, even in regards to using contraception, say for a severe acne problem, or occasionally doctors will put people on the pill because their cycles are erratic. And the Church permits it for a medicinal purpose when it is not primarily for a contraceptive use. But as they point out at the Pope Paul VI Institute out in Omaha, there's no clear indication that this actually heals the woman. It gives her the impression that she's gone into a regular cycle because she's following the pills and that's the way her body functions. But it's not restoring health. It's not bringing her back to a good, balanced metabolic function so that the cramps are less and she doesn't have the menstrual cycle difficulties and things like that. And so what they're finding there, as they have thousands of women who chart and send them their charts, they are learning how to begin different kinds of treatments that actually treat these problems. And I would encourage any woman, even if you legitimately could use the pill for medicinal purposes, seek out these other methods first, because it may actually bring healing and wholeness to your body where the pill will not do anything besides mask the symptoms.